the opening round of the NFL playoffs, and EA Sports continues its coverage of Super Wildcard Weekend. It's the Bengals and the Texans under the lights on Sunday night.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight we wrap up a great Sunday here in Super Wildcard Weekend, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Houston Texans. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
The third of 3 games to finish up this Sunday. We might save the best for last. And off we go here in the wild card round. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And he comes off of a really good regular season with over 4,000 yards passing. And now in the playoffs, people always ask the question, do you continue to play the way you played in the regular season? Do you turn it loose? Or do you tone it down a little bit? I think you've got to be smart, but make sure you show the defense something they haven't seen before.
A first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. And Stroud now to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now Stroud. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. From the gun to give to Mixon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Here's Stroud. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. It'll be a gain of 5. And 3rd and 8 now. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So, Charles, this a defense that hasn't made a lot of mistakes like this on the road to this playoff matchup, but that a bad one there.
Yeah, you definitely want to rattle and shake up the other quarterback, but you know you've got to do it the right way. Otherwise, that cloth's going to be on the ground.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll bring up second down. First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Stroud to throw it. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a line foot. Look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there. 57 yards. And the Bengals will strike first here, this wild card matchup. Well, so much for the opening drive being capped off by a field goal, CD. It's capped off by a touchdown after all, except I don't think in the manner that we were expecting.
No doubt about that, because you sent me a note earlier in the week saying you thought special teams might play a big role in this one. I don't know that you expected it this early in the game.
No, I didn't. That was a pretty impressive play, and what a way to get their first points. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Texans offense set to regain possession. I guess you could say they're kind of fortunate to be in the position that they're in, able to host as a division champ, because it's really one of the weakest divisions in the NFL.
And there's often the discussion every time, right, that fourth seed, should they actually be hosting? Because sometimes it turns out that division winner has a lesser record than wild card teams that get in, and some people think that'd be a more fair way of doing things. But I got to tell you, I personally like it. The winning a division title, I don't care what the division, how it's ranked, it still means something to me, and I like the fact that they get to host.
I think that that's the reason you have the divisions. If you didn't just stack them all up and take the best 6 records, but there's a division for a reason, and the champion hosts the first round.
And the first rule of thumb in building a team, build a team to win your division. Beat those teams first, then you go from there.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Stroud. That one complete. It's tanked down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. From the 23, here's 2nd down and 2. Throwing now is Stroud. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Texans are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they can't bring him down. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
And he comes into this wild card round off of a really good regular season, better than 30 touchdown passes. And he said he feels like he can take some shots against his secondary. In fact, in our meeting, he said not only can he take shots, he expects to do it early.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. From the gun, a give to Brown. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get 4 yards on the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Burrow. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there. And now out comes Houston. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Akers. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. Akers again. And this time he's not going anywhere. In fact, he'll lose yardage back to the 3. This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing 3rd and goal. Stroud looking to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And that is incomplete.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Burrow looking to pass. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. That's caught inside the 20. And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. This is Brown going up the middle. Shifts by at the 15. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Chase Brown, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals have regained the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. Taking a shot for Dell here. And that's caught inside the 35. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back to throw now on first down. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing again on second down. Stroud. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Here goes Stroud again. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now it's Burrow. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Charlie Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. The last of our 3 games on this wild card Sunday. Again, one more to follow tomorrow night as we wrap up an exhilarating 3 days of super wild card weekend. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Bengal offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they've been the better of the 2 teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They go right back to the ground here in Brown. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Now 2nd and 3. Here we go. They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll run on 3rd down with Brown. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. Caught by Jones. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Now Burrow. Looking deep here for Chase. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 11-yard line.
Back to throw. Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. Pushing his way through. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Looking to throw. Stroud. He'll complete this one to Collins. Escapes the defender. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Again, it's Stroud. Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. And Stroud now to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Dalton Schultz, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans are back within a score. But D'Amico Ryans, even with the defensive mindset, he'll elect to go for 2 here. They're going to keep it on the ground. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Now a give left side, Brown with it. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Burrow will throw. Able to find Higgins. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal 1st down.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert. As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now he's free at the 35. And he's going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. A big play there for Cincinnati. 57 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. From 3 yards out. And the Bengals are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is lets you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
On the quick, right?
Here's Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. One quarter remains for the right to survive round one here in the AFC. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. From the 35, here's second down and a yard. Mixing up the middle. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. On the bootleg, Stroud. That is caught. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. And down to the 28-yard line. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. Now Stroud. Dumps it off to Mixon. So the completion good for just 3. And that will bring up second down. Inside handoff to Mixon. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Throwing now is Stroud. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bengals force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they are looking good. A 2-score lead here in this fourth quarter as they hope to capture a spot in the divisional round next weekend. They defer to Brown to start the drive. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 80 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
And in a situation like this, you're in the second half with the lead, trying to get to the division round. They're going to let him do his thing on the ground, and that's a great run there to pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. Brown with his stick skills. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do, this is caught inside the 15. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Brown. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Brown once more. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Chase Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Bengals continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Houston set to take over. And they are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far. And they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be 2nd down. Stroud. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. Here now, 3rd and a yard.
Alrighty.
Play action. Stroud now. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance.
Here we go.
But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
And he's going to be dumped there, but he does have a 1st down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He's got this complete to Stover, the tight end. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Stroud looking to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
Stroud to throw it. They intercept Stroud again, the 3rd time in this game. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Bengals are going to take over at their own 41. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big, they just sent their receivers out, let it fly, but the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have bucked the trend so far. Sterling performance to this point on the road, no less, in the wild card round. And they look to finish things off here in this 4th quarter. 134 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
As always, no rooting interest here, but that was pretty, wasn't it? To see him break through and then pick up his stride.
Yeah, the guy carrying the ball loves it. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, one win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Houston, good night, everybody.